Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. I am the Channeling Goddess. If you are new here, hi, hello. If you are returning back, welcome back. So today we are going to do the final part of the numerology reading. So today we are doing 7, 8, and 9. This is part 3 and the final part. If you are interested in me doing master numbers, please leave a comment down below and I will definitely take a look at it and get that reading out for you. But in the meantime, I will make sure that I put the timestamps for the numbers in the description box below. Now before we get started and get into this reading, if you are looking for a message that resonates with you more, it is helpful that you tap into your own intuition, and one way that I like to do this is by taking 3 mindful deep breaths. I inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 3, and exhale for 5 to 6 seconds. I often sometimes also put my feet in the grass just to connect my energy with Mother Earth so I can receive the messages that are meant for me from Spirit. Okay, so if you are ready, I would say get your coffee, get your tea, and look in the description box and check out your pile below. I'll see you then. Bye. Hello. If you chose the number 7, then this is your pile. So let's just go ahead and dive right in. So the number 7 is the seeker, the spiritual analyst. So you may be the type of person who explore a lot into the occult. You may do a lot of exploration into spirituality. You may have started out in a very religious background, like, you know, a Christian or a Buddhist or whatever the case may be. And now you've moved more over towards spirituality. It may be something that you feel like very drawn to. So keep that in mind. So some of the keywords that are associated with the number 7 is introspection, wisdom, analysis, spirituality, solitude, inner growth. So if the number 7 is coming out for you, you may find yourself wanting to be in solitude more. You may be on a path to inner growth. That may be something that's happening for you very more recently, or something that, you know, Spirit or the universe may be calling you to do. But the energy of the number 7 is around wisdom as well. So it talks about introspection, going within, finding the spiritualist within, finding the deep wound within, right? And when I say deep wound, I'm talking about something outside of yourself, not just who you are as an individual, who you were born as, or who you came into this world as, but who you actually are as an individual, your soul calling, right? So you may find yourself a bit more called to do something in regards to spirituality and things like that. You may be going into a more spiritual space, like I spoke about before, okay? So some of the personal traits that are associated with the number 7 is deep thinker, truth seekers, often introverted, analytical and intuitive. They love to investigate life's mysteries, can appear aloof or reserved. So we talked about this a little bit, right? That solitude. A lot of times when you are, and I would also say that number 7s, people who are associated with this number, you may feel yourself being a little bit more sensitive. And that may be another reason why you want to be more withdrawn, maybe why you want to be more in solitude, because you're picking up on so many people's energy. You may also be the person that's like a really deep thinker. You may find yourself lost in deep thought, where you are contemplating, you know, you may go down like a rabbit hole, right? You may be one of those people that it starts with one thing and then you just keep going. I'll give you an example. I remember when I was first getting into spirituality, one of the things that kept coming to me is how money is just paper, right? And I would go, it would scare me to go down that rabbit hole, but I would get lost in my own thoughts and, like, you know, thinking about paper and how you can just print it. And so that could just be an example. It doesn't necessarily have to be something that you are necessarily drawn to, but just an example of how you can start with one thing and just completely go down a rabbit hole because you want to get like almost like an end result. You want to know the ending of it, or how it's going to turn out, or what is the actual meaning of it, what is the purpose. So you may find yourself in deep introspection a lot, okay? So some of the challenges that are associated with the number 7 is tendency to overanalyze, isolate, or become cynical, okay? So we talked about that, right? That isolation, sometimes isolation and solitude is good for you, right? It's something that can help you tap more into your spirituality. It can help you tap more into the occult. It can help you tap more into things that are outside of yourself. But it can also be one of those situations where you have the tendency to overanalyze anything. Like you see something and instead of just taking it at face value, you overanalyze it. Not just analyze it, you overanalyze it. So be careful with that kind of behavior if the number 4 is coming out for you, okay? So if you are a life path 7, so some of the responses around a 7 is a journey of learning to trust both your logical and intuition. This path often includes spiritual exploration, academic research, or time spent in quiet contemplation. So you may be the type of person who, like I said before, you want to dive a little bit deeper into the occult. You want to know a little bit more about spirituality. You may find yourself, I guess, I won't say unstable, but when you are in a place of instability, or you are in a place of like really learning yourself and finding yourself, you may find yourself hopping from one religion to another. And it's not a bad thing. It's just your curiosity into the occult. It's your curiosity into spirituality that's really having you kind of go off the deep end, so to speak, and move more toward a space of learning and understanding. Okay, so we're gonna pull a couple of cards just to see if we can get some additional messages about the number 7 energy that may be around you right now. Okay, can we get some cards please for number 7? Oh. Okay, we have one flip over, so we're gonna keep it. It's the She-Wolf, Unleash the Wild Within. Okay, let's keep going. Thank you. We have Fire Guardian, Ignite Your Passion. Okay, I want to make sure you can see him. And then we have a Guardian Angel, You Are Not Alone. Okay, yeah. So I'm getting this. Some of you may be going on a spiritual exploration and you're wondering if you're going to be by yourself. Now, I will say this. Sometimes when you're on a spiritual journey, this is one of the things I learned the hard way. Sometimes when you're on a spiritual journey, sometimes you're on that journey alone, right? The people that are around you can't go with you, but it doesn't mean that you are alone fully, right? In the physical sense, you may be alone because you may not have those people around you, but spiritually, you always have your angels in your backup, okay? Then we have Oracle. It says, wait for important information. I think to me, this is also talking about having that spiritual exploration. So a lot of people who are life path 7s, they are deep into spirituality. You may have a spiritual business. So you may do tarot readings. You may be an Oracle reader. You may be a Reiki healer or something like that. But to me, I feel like that's why this is coming out. You may get a lot of divination from oracles. You may be seeing snakes in your dreams, feathers as well. Or wings, or you may have just read a book about somebody who had wings, or a wolf book. I don't know. That's what's coming to me right now. So keep that in mind. And then your bottom deck energy is great teacher, learn from spiritual experiences. Yeah. So this, if you've been seeing the number 7 a lot, and look under there, we've got Hermit, right? So, and we talked about that, kind of solitude, wanting to be by yourself. If you are intuitively drawn to the number 7, or you keep seeing the number 7, it is because a spiritual teacher is coming in for you very, very soon. If they haven't showed up already, a spiritual teacher is coming in for you very soon to help guide you, right? Even your first card was She-Wolf, Unleash the Wild Within. For some of you, you are like, I'm hearing the word wild goose chase. So for some of you, you are moving into a more like wild, broad, and I just saw 222. You're moving more into a wide, really broad understanding of what life can actually be like. You may be a fire sign. This could be your passion. This could be something that you turn into something that you make a career out of, right? Talking about different religions on YouTube or Facebook or something like that. But you are very spiritual. And for some of you, the reason why the number 7 keeps showing up for you is because a spiritual teacher is about to come in for you. Okay, let's get some additional information. Let's see what else we can get. Can we get some other cards, please? Okay, we have savings. It says, you always need to put something off for a bad day. Create savings for the future. Okay. I'll put this up here. Some of you going into your backup plan. I think this was a card that came out. I'm not sure. Exhausted. I'm going to keep shuffling because I don't know if this was actually the card. If it's meant to come out, it would have come out. But it says, feeling financially drained, lacking viable options. For some of you, This person is going to come in to teach you how to save, I'm hearing. And this is not just monetary value. This is also saving yourself, so to speak. So think of it that way. Saving yourself from going down a path that you don't necessarily want to be down. Okay. Then we have star power. It says become an influencer of the company and earn fame, popularity, step into your spotlight. So for some of you, I think I mentioned this, you may start a YouTube channel or TikTok or something like that where you're talking about different aspects of spirituality, different things that you've learned. And that may be how you're able to get yourself out of financial debt. Okay. And you'll be able to save money, especially for that savings card to come out first. Look at this. You got foresight. It says pay attention to the things that are important to ensure wealth. Be farsighted and alert. So for some of you, this is foresight into what is coming. It's foresight into how things are going to be changing for you. Look at that. Fruits of labor. So you have, it's time to reap the fruits of your labor and become rich. So for some of you, this is how you're going to become rich in life. Whatever richness means for you, right? Richness doesn't have to mean a millionaire. It doesn't have to mean a billionaire, right? Richness can mean a whole lot of things for a whole lot of different people. So it's, to me, this reading is saying that because you are a seeker and because you are more on the spiritualist path, that spiritual path is where you're going to find the most star power. It is where you're going to find the most comfortability. It is where you're going to reap the most rewards. Okay. And then, wow, we have love life. It says free from problems and money troubles. Enjoy the passion of love and be loved. So for some of you, this teacher is going to be someone that you are going to fall in love with. They could be a twin flame. They could also be a soulmate. And look at this. Look at this. Spiritual work was right under there. So for some of you, if you're not into spiritual work, I would definitely highly suggest looking into that for you to get that at the bottom deck. Underneath love life, I would definitely say to look into that. But for others of you, you are being asked to work more on your spiritual, the spiritual aspects of yourself. You're being asked to tap into that connection with your ancestors, with your guardian angels that are around you. Okay. Now, I do want to say this again, for those of you that this resonates with, there is a teacher coming in. I'm feeling called to say it again. There is a teacher that is coming in for you that is really going to change your perspective on how you see life. They are going to to me, it feels like an adventure. It's like you're going to go on this beautiful, exotic, loving adventure with this teacher. Like I said, this person could be like, they could be your soulmate. They're coming in to teach you a lesson, but they're also your soulmate. You also may see, and I just noticed this, there's a white bird here and a white feather. You may start to see white birds. You may start to see white feathers in your dream, outside. It doesn't matter. You may start to see them as signs when this great teacher is coming in for you. Okay, let's get some clarification because we have clarifying life situations. So we have veil of illusion. It says, lift the veil of illusion, seeking truth beneath the surface to navigate through love and career authentically. Sorry about that. So like I said, this spiritual part of you could be something that's a full-time career, something that you do full-time. Okay. And I just saw 1133. If you're worried about taking care of your family, the number 7 is coming through to say to drop the illusion, seek the truth, because when you see, and look at this. Look at this. On the other side, you have seek the truth. It's when you seek the truth about spirituality, it is when you're going to be the most comfortable, when you're going to be the most successful, when you're going to be the most fruitful. And then we have commit to the journey. Yeah, for some of you, you're going on this journey. I did say that, like an exotic adventure, right? It says with determination, go all in for the long term. Your steadfast focus will bring lasting rewards. Yes. So this is something that you actually definitely need to go into, something you need to do. Because you're being called to go down this path right now, right? And that's why the teacher is coming in, because you're ready. Look at this, making plans. And then you also have open doors. So it says making plans. It says chart your course with intention. The future is yours to design and navigate. And then open doors say you have many options, so take your time to choose what's right. Yes, you're on the right path, right? That teacher, and you're going to know if you're on the right path because the teacher is going to come in to make sure that you're aware, to help you go down this path as well. And wow. Then we have right track. It says you are going in the right direction, so just keep moving forward. Yes. So you're already on the right track, right? That teacher is going to come in just to confirm where you are right now, and to help you kind of move forward into this place that you really want to be, right? And I want to say this as well. For some of you, you may have felt, may have made you feel bad for wanting to explore spirituality. I'll give you an example. If you've grown up in the Christian church, and this is no hate to Christians, okay? If you've grown up in the Christian church and it is a traditional Christian church, oftentimes they make you feel bad for questioning anything. They tell you, oh, you shouldn't have to question God. You don't need to question God. That is blasphemy, or whatever the case may be. And now you're going to find somebody. You don't have to be a Christian, but this is just an example. Someone made you feel bad for questioning something that you felt like needed to be questioned. You just wanted answers. It's not that you were saying, oh, this isn't right, this is bad, this is whoa. You were just wanting some clarification. You just wanted to understand how things work, and they made you feel bad. This teacher is going to almost, I don't want to say wipe it away, but they're going to help you see past the illusion of the belief that you can't ask questions. Okay, let's get you some cards from the Tea Leaf Oracle deck. Okay, yeah, that one's trying to come out. Wow, look at this. Wealth. You got fruits of labor, star power, and wealth. I'm telling you, the spiritual track is where you need to be. Look at this. We have excitement, firecracker. You may have recently been seeing firecrackers or hearing them around your home recently. I know it's not the 4th of July yet, but even over where I'm staying right now, I've been hearing them. So you may be hearing firecrackers as well. That could be a sign. Oh, let's get these two cards. Okay, so we have man. It says dealings or relationships with a man. And I really feel like this is that spiritual teacher that's coming in for you. It doesn't have to be an actual physical man. It could be someone who has a very masculine energy, but your teacher is coming in soon. And then we have flute. It says disappointment in a friend or lover. So for some of you, this may be the catalyst for how you get into this. You may find, you may have been following somebody's path, not your own, and disappointment in them is going to spark you to want to do something different. Then we have younger man. Yeah, you got a lot of men coming through. Younger man, it says dealings or relationship with a younger man. So for some of you, this disappointed lover may be someone that is younger than you or young-ish, or they have a very young energy, okay? And they may be acting immature as well. Then we have skull. It says hidden secrets can harm you. So for some of you, things may be coming to the light. That may be why you're disappointed in this friend or lover, is because some hidden things are getting ready to come to light. Okay. Then we have eagle. It says triumph over troubles and obstacles. Yeah. For some of you, like, I feel like for those of you where this message resonates with a disappointment of a friend or lover, hidden secrets can harm you. Spirit is saying you're going to triumph over any trouble and obstacles. Okay, and then look at this. Flowers, happiness. But your bottom deck energy is July. So this may be changing in the month of July. I think we're like a couple of days. Today's the 27th. So we're a couple of days from the month of July. So you may start to see yourself transition. Look at this. Transition or change in the month of July. That's when things are going to start to shift and change for you. Okay, so let's get you one last card, one encouragement card. Anything Spirit may have left to say to you. All right, we're going to pull from the Akashic Records Oracle cards. Just get one card, please. Any messages the Spirit needs you to hear right now. Or the number 7 needs you to hear as well. We have boundless possibilities. Yes, the possibilities are endless. It says you're standing at the edge of limitless potential. Don't limit your dreams based on past experiences. What did I say? Somebody made you feel bad for wanting to question things, okay? It says embrace the boundless possibilities that await you. Okay, so for those of you, and then you may also be called to reach out to someone for help, and that may be why this person is coming in, this teacher is coming in, because you've already reached out for help. Okay, so this is all of the messages that I have for you. Thank you so much for sticking it out with me to the end, and I will see you next time in our next one. Bye. Hello and welcome. If you chose the number 8, then this is your pile. So we're going to go ahead and dive right in. So the number 8 is considered the powerhouse or the executive, right? So if you're seeing the number 8, you may be called to step into leadership. You may be dealing with a lot of executive matters, or you may be called to step in and be the executive, be the powerhouse. You may find yourself in a lot of different positions where you have power, where you are, I don't know why I'm hearing I bring the pain or I bring the thunder. So for some of you, you may be coming into a promotion where you're going to have more power. You may be going from managing individual contributors or, just regular people to managing managers. So this may be why the number 8 is coming out for you. You may be even being called to be an entrepreneur, be your own manager, so that you are the powerhouse that you've always seen yourself being. Okay. So some of the keywords that are associated with the number 8 is power, ambition, material success, authority, discipline, and abundance. So for some of you, you could be coming into a place of abundance, right? A lot of material success is coming in for you. Like I talked about that promotion, you moving into a place where you are managing managers and you're now making more money. You could also be put into a position where you're an entrepreneur and your business takes off. If you have something like a side business that you're doing, it could take off, very soon. And it allows you to be in a situation where you can be your own boss, where you can be the executive of your own estate, okay? So some of the personal traits that's associated with the number 8 is natural leaders and managers, often very goal-oriented. They have a strong sense of justice and fairness, highly capable in business. They focus on results, achievement, and creating long-term security. So for some of you, you may be creating a legacy, or you may be being called to do so. Like I said, you may be getting a promotion where you're not just managing managing individual people, you're managing managers. Some of you could be in the justice system, or you could be called to go into the justice system. You could be an activist. For some of you, I think I talked about this as well, like entrepreneurship, you could be highly capable in running your own business, but you're being called to do that, which is why the 8 is coming out for you very heavy right now. Some of you have been worried or wondering if you are on the right path. You're wondering if you bit off more than you could chew, and you haven't, right? You are a powerhouse. You are meant to be exactly where you are right now. And these blessings, these financial and, material blessings that's coming in for you, it is because you've called them in. For some of you, if the number 8 has been coming out for you, it's because you're being called to step into a more leadership role, and that's where you're going to find your abundance. That's where you're going to find your power. You could be in a position very, very soon. If you're not already, you could be in a position very, very soon where you are in a very high, powerful position. Like I'm thinking CEO, I'm thinking executive, right? I'm thinking and CEO could be you're the CEO of your own business. I'm also thinking if you are someone who is into religion, you could be becoming a pastor or a bishop or something like that. Whatever the case may be, you're going into a place of very power, a whole lot of power, not very power. And I'm hearing heavy is the head that wears the crown. So be careful with this kind of power, because with this kind of power comes great responsibility, right? And I just saw 339. And then some of the challenges, okay, that the number 8 face is being workaholic, controlling tendencies, or valuing money status over relationships. So like I said before, be careful when you get this kind of power. Be careful when you start moving into situations like this. Make sure that you if you are the type of person who rules with an iron fist, make sure that you don't forget that the people that, report to you are still human, right? They still make mistakes. Don't, be so focused on the bottom line that you forget to treat people, treat humans like humans, okay? And I just saw 414. So some people who are life path 8s or could be associated a lot with the number 8, this number is about mastering material and financial realms while learning balance and ethical leadership, okay? So that ethical piece is going to really come in handy for you. Learn to balance out that need for money, but also with your humanity side. Make sure that you're not being unethical. Make sure that you're staying in a place where you are, walking in power, but staying in power with the people that you are, working with, or whatever the case may be, okay? So let's pull you a couple of cards and see what messages we get, okay? Okay, let's pull some cards. Oops, that was way too many. I'll let you see innovate. So you may be an innovator. You may be the first person in your line to, become a millionaire or become a CEO. All right. Then we have debt. It says, are you in the driver's seat with your debt, or has your debt taken over and placed you in shackles? For some of you, you're in debt because you're not in a more leadership position. I know that may be hard to hear, but it's because you're not in a more leadership position, because the leadership position is where you thrive. It is where you find it's where you're more balanced. It's where you thrive. Okay. Then we have self-care. It says, if you want to live life live like royalty. Start by treating yourself like royalty. So for some of you, there's an expensive life that you want to live, but you've forgotten how to take care of yourself, okay? You've forgotten how to look out for yourself, okay? Then we have decisions. It says the first step to achieving your dreams is committing to making them a reality. So for some of you, you're being called to make a decision very soon. And to me, for some of you, this is a job offer. A job offer is going to come in, and it is going to give you more responsibility, more money, but it is going to be a lot to take on, and you're going to have to decide if you really want to do that or not. Okay. Then we have competition. It says, remember that there is no competition if you are truly original. And remember, a few minutes ago, I said you may be the first person in your line to become a CEO. You could be the first person in your family to become a millionaire. Know that you are truly an original. Who you are is who you are, right? You've been giving this power, this leadership, because this is who you are as an individual. There is no competition, okay? No one can compete with you. You will be like, think of like, I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Soul, but there's a part in the movie where they talk about being in your zone, in your zen, right? Leadership is where you thrive. Leadership is where you are the most in alignment with your higher self, okay? Then we have fear of failure. It says your fear of failure can be very crippling, especially when it keeps you from even trying. Yeah, for some of you, you may be hearing this message and saying, okay, this is not my pile. Even though the number 8 has been coming out for me a lot, I don't want to lead anybody. It's the people who usually don't want to lead that are probably the most that are called to lead, right? Because you know what it's like to be the little guy. You know what it's like to be the little woman, right? You understand what that feels like. So you lead with compassion. You lead from a place of love. And then look at this. We have host. It says whether your space is physical or digital, you could find a lot of fulfillment in being a host. To me, that host energy feels like a leader, right? It feels like you're going to be in more of a leadership position. If this has not happened already, it is coming, right? Now is the time. So for some of you, you've been waiting on your time to shine, and it's coming, but it is going to come in the form of you being a leader, okay? And then your bottom deck energy. What did I talk about? Promotion. It says elevated earnings can come hand in hand with heightened responsibilities. Yes, your responsibilities are going to increase. So you need to be aware of that. You need to understand that with great power comes great responsibility, right? Your responsibilities are going to increase, but don't let your fear of failure, of not knowing how this is going to turn out, stop you from doing this, because you're meant to do it, right? It wouldn't be happening for you right now if it was not something you weren't meant to do. Okay, let's get you a couple more cards. We have bright ideas. It says have an innovative new perspective. It says test new ideas and break out fast. So I think we saw innovate. Yeah, we saw the card innovate that came out. So even though it didn't come out in this pile, it's coming out here. So for some of you may have some really good ideas. For some of you, you may be put in a situation where you are telling maybe someone in higher power about your ideas, and because they love your ideas so much, that's how you're going to get promotion. That's how you're going to get more responsibilities and more money. Okay. Look at that. Moving up. It says careers on the rise, new offers and opportunities, salary increase. So for those of you that keep seeing the number 8, you've been in the energy of the number 8. You are moving up. Things are going to be advancing for you. You got promotion. You got move up, bright ideas, right? You're going to be moving into a more successful state of mind, a more successful energy. So don't let your fear of failure stop you from going. Okay. Then we have exhausted. It says feel financially drained, lacking viable options. For those of you where this resonates, where you feel exhausted and you're lacking financial options, it's because the roles that you're trying to go, the roles that you are applying for are not roles that are meant for you. If you are meant to be a manager, but you're applying to be a cashier, you're probably not going to get that job right now, right? And it's putting you into more of a financial strain. And I want to say that this pile, those of you that were drawn to this pile, you may feel like what I'm asking you to do is a bit delusional, and it is, but delusion is how you get to where you're supposed to go, because there is something in you, there is a power in you that is waiting to rise, but you have to be willing to see it, okay? Then we have loyalty. It says true friendship and loyalty are amongst the most important values. Be loyal to your friends. So make sure that I'm hearing, don't forget Don't forget your people on the way up, right? Don't forget the people who help you get to where you are, because those people will also be there. They'll be loyal. They'll look out for you when you're up at the top. And I want you to see this. You have money tree under there. It says dreams come true. You will get what you long desire. Enjoy your wealth. So to me, this is confirmation. Spirit is saying that wealth is coming to you. This promotion is not just about more responsibilities, but bringing more wealth into your life as well. Okay. So we're going to pull from the Angel Tarot deck just to see if there's any additional messages that the number 8 might have for you today. Okay, can we get any additional messages? And I said I was gonna pull 2, and 2 came out. So we have the Devil. It's Samael. This severity of God. It says seduction and downfall, communicates with the dead, touches the occult and magic. Okay. And then we have 10 of Pentacles. Wow. The honorable God. It says inner and outer work, helps one keep their job, protects against disaster. So for some of you, for this Devil card to come in, it's because you're going through an ending. There is a change that is coming for you. So you're going into an ending so you can get to this 10 of Pentacles, which sounds weird, but that's what's happening. There is a death, right? That's happening. It's not a physical death. This is a death of old ideas. This is a death of a job that you've been staying in because it's convenient, but it is not allowing you to be the powerhouse and the executive that you know that you can be. But you're going into the 10 of Pentacles, and look what's at your bottom deck. You got 9 of Pentacles as well. The allowing God, submission to higher order, identifies traitors and destroys their plans. So anyone that is trying to destroy your plans, anyone that's trying to work against you, the number 8 is coming in to say that you're protected. There is no competition. You have no competition. What you're going into is meant for you. It is meant for you to do this. And then look, I didn't even realize this was still stuck on the table when I picked it up. It's Chariot, which talks about forward movement. So this is absolutely something that's coming into you. It may be coming relatively fast for you, so it may freak you out a little bit. Don't freak out. Everything is going to be fine, okay? It's going to be fine, but you're ready. Don't let your fear of failure stop you, okay? Let's get you some cards. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Sudden wealth. It's like Spirit, like the number 8 and Spirit is coming in to say that there is no competition. You're going to be more than fine. Look at this. You got poverty. Spirit is saying you're coming out of poverty. You're moving into a more aligned place in your life. And then bottom deck energy is adjudication, right? So for some of you, you may be going into something that has to do with law. You may be dealing with a lot. You may be becoming a lawyer. You may be making partners soon. So congratulations if that is the case for you. I am happy for you, but just make sure that you understand poverty is not where you live, okay? It's the sudden wealth that's coming in is going to bring you out of poverty, because you have the 9 of Pentacles and the 10 of Pentacles, right? You're coming out of poverty into, and I'm hearing marvelous light. So you're coming into something that is really going to be very beneficial for you, okay? Then we have Bridge. It says successfully overcoming a problem. So for some of you, you may feel like you're in a problem or in a situation right now where there are problems going on, and you're like, I don't see how I'm going to go into any 9 of Pentacles or sudden wealth type of state. And the number 8 is coming in to say that things are changing. Things are shifting, because now is the time, okay? Now is the time for you to move into a more wealthy situation, a more grounded situation. For some of you, this is going to be wealth that just not only affects you, but your family as well. Then we have, wow, we have bread, period of prosperity and abundance. Listen, I don't know how much more louder the number 8 can be for you at this point, because a lot of your cards is talking about wealth. It's talking about growth. It's talking about, you know, fruits of your labor. It's talking about moving up. You know what I'm saying? So you have a lot of things that's coming for you, and you have gavel, involvement with the law. So some of you really may be, because we got the adjudication and we got gavel. So be careful if you're going into any legal matters. For some of you, you may be winning some money, like something may happen legally. You may be getting you may be getting a legal ruling that is in your favor, and it's going to bring a lot of money into your life. And then we have Caterpillar. It says things will not always be this way. A change is coming. Yes. What did I say? You're coming out of poverty and you're moving into something new. You're moving into a better situation. We have December. Okay, so some of this could have started last December, or you could really take off in December. And then you have March here as well. And I'm thinking, like, when I heard March, when I saw March, I heard March Madness. So I don't know if that's significant for someone here, but just keep that in mind when you're thinking about like everything that you want to do, this powerhouse energy that you have that's coming into for you right now, because I'm telling you, like, for you to get the 9 of Pentacles, the 10 of Pentacles, you got sudden wealth, you got moving up, you got bright ideas, you got promotion, right? There's a lot that's coming in for you, successfully overcoming a problem. So there's a lot of wealth that's coming in for you. There are a lot of bright ideas that's coming in for you. When you have those bright ideas, make sure you keep a pen and piece of paper around with you so that you can write those things down, because they are going to be the catalyst for you moving into something new. Okay, we're gonna get 2 cards from here, and then we're gonna get some final cards for you. Okay, can we get 2 cards, please? Okay, we have manifest. Yep, some things that you manifested, they're coming to pass now. They're coming true now. And then we have remember. So for some of you, you need to remember the things that you manifest, because now it's happening. Or when these things start manifesting in your life, that's when you're going to remember, oh my God, I did ask for this. Oh my God, I asked for that. It's going to be like, you're going to be remembering what you asked for. But for some of you, this is also about you remembering your old self. That 8, that leadership quality has always been in you, and you're going to be in a situation where you remember that this is who you are. Okay. Then we have compassion. So we talked about this when it comes to being focused on mastering material and financial realms. You also need to learn to balance and have ethical leadership. So make sure that you show compassion to those around you who are not you, right? There will be people that are going to come into your life, and they're going to be here specifically to get that love and that compassion from you. So make sure that you are compassionate when you're talking to these people. Make sure you're helpful. Make sure you know your limits, okay? Know your freaking limits. But also make sure that you are being compassionate to these people. Don't sell yourself short, okay? So I'm going to pull you some cards. Okay, I was going to put you 1 card, and 1 came out. From the Moon, what is this? The Moon Creation deck? Or Cherry Blossoms Oracle card, sorry. So then we have Transcend Challenges. It says, as you navigate hardship with a spirit of determination and optimism, you embark on a journey of self-discovery and growth. Yes, you are coming into your own. You're about to discover yourself all over again, that powerhouse that lives within you. That's why the number 8 is coming out for you. You're about to discover, and look at this, discover purpose. You're about to discover who you really are. You're going to go back in and remember. I'm seeing, Mufasa on Simba, when he tells him, remember who you are my son, and the one true king, right? You're going to be remembering and discovering your own purpose, and it is going to really change how you move in the world, okay? So thank you so much for sticking out with me. This is all I have. And I will see you next time in our next one. Bye. Hello, if you chose the number 9, then this is your reading, okay? So let's just go ahead and dive right in. So the number 9 is the humanitarian, the wise old soul. So you may notice that when you were younger, people always called you like, oh my God, you're such an old soul. Or you may feel like you resonate more, even if it's something that just recently happened, you may feel like you resonate more with old school music. You may feel like you resonate more with things from the past, right? You are entrenched in history. You love learning about different things, but not necessarily for the future, but from the past, okay? You also may find yourself being very compassionate, very loving toward others. You may find yourself being the type of person who gives your last, looking out for other people. You may have the feeling, or you may subscribe to the idea that humans are parasites. That's coming through right now, because you are such a humanitarian and you want to see the world in a more humanitarian state, where there is less of the homeless population, right? They're actually housed and they are being taken care of and loved on, right? People who are medically unstable, you want to make sure that they're getting the help that they need, right? You may find yourself in a more compassionate state. If the number 9 is coming out for you, and this is not something that's been going on in your life regularly, if it's coming out for you, you may be asked to be more of a humanitarian, be more compassionate. And I think, especially with the way the world is going right now, we could use a lot more humanitarians in our lives. We could use a lot more people who are compassionate, people who are loving, people who want to see the best in people, but not just see it, who want to actually foster it and help it grow, okay? So some of the keywords that is associated with the number 9 is compassion, empathy, forgiveness, completion, global awareness, and altruism, okay? So some of you could feel very sensitive right now. You could feel very tapped into what's going on globally, not just in your respective countries. 9 is also talks about the number of completion. So you could be coming to the end of a cycle. That may be why the number 9 is coming up for you as well. Something about forgiveness is making me think of you not just forgiving others, but forgiving yourself. Maybe you're in a situation, I could just give you an example. Maybe you're going through a divorce and you found out that this person was cheating on you, and you are like beating yourself up saying, oh my God, I should have seen the signs. They were like this and they were like that and they said this. I don't know how I didn't see the signs. But you're coming to the end of a cycle. And what you want to do when you're coming to the end of a cycle is honor the path that you've been down. Honor the good, the bad, the ugly, the indifferent. Honor it because it was meant to be when it was meant to be. Now you're coming to the end of the cycle and it is time to let it go. It is time to move on. So forgive yourself, but also have compassion for yourself. Be more empathetic toward whatever it is that you're going through. For some of you, you may be dealing with a person or the ending of a job or something like that. And maybe that job was not the best job that you've ever had. Maybe it was one of the worst. Maybe you had one of the worst managers that you've ever had. The number 9 is coming through to say, to honor what you went through, to honor the compassion that you had probably in that job. Honor the fact that you're walking away, but have more compassion that you didn't walk away sooner, because sometimes we beat ourselves up with that and say, oh my God, I should have walked away sooner. Sometimes we can't, right? We have to be there for certain things to happen, for certain things to go down before we can fully walk away. Okay. So some of the personal traits that's associated with the number 9 is deeply compassionate and emotionally aware, often drawn to helping others, charitable work, or creative expression, broad-minded, wise, and tolerant. So you may be seeing the number 9 because you're being called to go into a more creative endeavor. You may have always been the creative type, but now maybe the world needs whatever it is that you're bringing to the world. So let's say that you are a songwriter. Maybe there is a song that is in you that you need to write out so that the world can hear it. And you may think to yourself, I'm just a little nobody. Nobody's going to hear my song. And the number 9 is coming, the energy of the number 9 is coming through to say, write the song anyway, right? The people that are meant to hear it will hear it, but it can't be heard if it's just in your head, if you're not writing it down, right? For others of you, you may be called to go into a more charitable work. You may be the type of person who volunteers on the weekend. You may volunteer at soup kitchens. You may, feed the unhoused. So for some of you, you may be feeling more called to go into that type of work. And you may be thinking to yourself, like, I can't do that because, I want to do it, but I can't do it because I have bills to pay. For those of you that has been called into this work, there is going to be a situation that comes along where you're going to still be able to do the things that feel more charitable to you, going to a more charitable work, but still being able to pay your bills, still being able to take care of your family, because that's something that's deep within you. Okay. So some of the challenges that energy around the number 9 face is overgiving, emotionally burnt out, difficulty releasing the past. So when I talked about this earlier about having compassion for you letting go, sometimes when we get to the end of a journey, we sit there and we contemplate on how we should have walked away earlier. And then somebody says something or what they feel is the right thing, and then we go back. The number 9 is coming through to say to let go. Right? You're being called to let go of a path that no longer serves you. You've been doing this for some years now. For some of you, you've been doing this for a matter of months, and it's 1 month too long, right? And you need to walk away, but you're trying to hold on to the idea of maybe the job will get better, maybe they'll pay me more money, maybe I'll get this, maybe I'll get that. And the number 9 is coming through to say that you've gotten what you need from this job. You've gotten what you need from this relationship, this person, this place, this location. Now it is time to move, even if it's scary. It is time to move. Also, be careful of emotional burnt out, giving so much to so many people that you forget to give some to yourself. You're forgetting to nurture yourself. You're over giving to everybody else, and you haven't stopped to give to yourself, right? When's the last time you bought yourself something nice? When's the last time you took yourself on a vacation? When is the last time you did something that didn't benefit anybody else? Only you did something specifically for you. And even if it's reckless, even if you say, okay, I'm going to buy a $300, bottle of champagne. If it is something that is for you and it makes you happy, go for it, right? Every once in a while, especially those of us who are like super responsible, right? We're making sure we take care of our responsibilities, our kids, our water, our light, whatever the case may be, right? You're taking care of everyone else. You're giving so much of yourself to everyone else, but you don't stop and give to yourself, okay? So we're going to pull some cards just to see if we can get some additional information about the energy of the number 9 around you, okay? Can we get some cards, please? Thank you. We have Epona. It says wise leadership. I hope I'm saying that right. If I'm not, I apologize. Okay, let's get some more cards. Okay, we have Animosian. I hope I'm saying that right. The past. Yep, letting go of the past. And then we have Ishtar communion. Bottom deck energy is Ma'at, truth. Wow. So for some of you, you may be getting these goddesses may be reaching out to you. I would definitely say to do your own research about them, but they definitely may be reaching out to you. Okay, so for some of you, as the humanitarian, you have a lot of wise leadership within you. There are people who will follow you to the ends of the earth, and I just want to put that out there. So be careful how you're leading people. Be careful what examples that you're setting, because if you are a leader but you're always over giving and you forget to give to yourself, the people that are following behind you, they're going to do the exact same thing. Okay, they're going to be following in your footsteps because they will lead. Something about your energy has the capacity to be a very wise leader, right? But in being wise, a wise leader, you have to learn to take breaks. You have to learn about self-care, learn how to take care of yourself, okay? And then we have the past here. So we talked about this, right? Letting go of the past, releasing the past is something that can be difficult. And I forgot to read this. Some of the responsibilities around the number 9 or life path 9 is a journey focused on letting go, going back, and embracing a higher purpose. Also energy with a mission to heal and uplift. So for some of us, the past is how we move forward. And what I mean by that is you may be interested in getting a past life regression. I think it would be a good thing for you because something about going back and releasing those things is going to help you move forward. Some of you are here specifically to break generational curses, which is why you came in to be a humanitarian, because you're not only going to be moving away from the past, but you're going to be healing the past. Something about you healing the past is going to be beneficial to you and your family. You may also be getting you may be the goddess or the Orisha, Oshun could be reaching out to you. So if you feel called, if that feels right to you, I would definitely say do some research, okay? Then we have Ishtar communion. So for some of you, you're going to be in communion with a lot of different communities. But this also talks about, you know, being in communion with oneself, right? Understanding, having those hard conversations with oneself, looking at the past and understanding that the past was there for a reason. It was meant to be when it was meant to be. And now that it is no longer meant to be, you must let it go, right? You cannot hold on to something that is not meant to be. Let it go, let it flow, let it be what it is supposed to be, okay? Then we have Mayat, truth. So a lot of us, we are coming into the truth. So a lot of us, our eyes are becoming open. And with our eyes becoming open, we're going to go more into that humanitarian phase, which is, you know, helping others and being a light in dark places to really speak the truth and help those in need who need our help, right? And I think we talked about helping and giving back to the community, but we also talked about helping the unhoused. So this could be something that you're very passionate about, especially for me to keep getting that. This could be something that you're very passionate about. For some of you, you could be, you know, passionate about global issues, because it did talk about global awareness. The number 9 talks about global awareness. You could be very passionate about global issues, and you may be getting into a situation or a place where you can, that's all you're focusing on, your humanitarian efforts. But I will also say, in focusing on those efforts, make sure to remember to have self-care, okay? Make sure that you're taking care of oneself, okay? Let's get some additional cards around the energy of the number 9 that may be coming in for you. Okay, we have star bathing. It says light body, crystal grid, transmission, activation. Yeah, for some of you, you're definitely going through an activation right now. I think I talked about this. There's a lot of spiritual awakening happening right now. And in that spiritual awakening, a lot of truth is being spilled. And in truth being spilled, right, there's a lot of activation and transmission that is happening right now. Okay, then we have big picture thinking. It says Pleiades energy, visionary, inspired ideas. So you may be you may be the visionary in your family. Something about your humanitarian efforts could be something that is out of this world, unheard of, unthought of. Is because you're not just thinking about your family. You're not just thinking about your state, your city, your country. You're thinking about the world as a whole. You could also, if you resonate with star seeds, you could also be a part of the Pleiades energy. So I would definitely say do some research into that. Your star family may be reaching out to you. And then bottom deck energy, it says you're not for everyone. Embrace your weirdness. Face your true north. So for some of you, the humanitarian efforts that you want to do is a bit unorthodox, right? It may not be the Mother Teresa of it all. It could be something very, very vastly different. And Spirit is saying that you're not going to be for everybody. Not everyone is going to understand this path that you're going down. I would also say that, you going down this more humanitarian path could rub some people the wrong way, right? If you are the sole provider for other individuals, you are the sole provider for your family, and then all of a sudden you go more down a humanitarian path, you're still able to provide, but people can't take advantage of you as much as they used to be able to, or you're not in a situation where people are siphoning your energy. They're taking away from you. When you start closing off your energy and you start, giving back to yourself, there may be people who feel some type of way, and it's because they're not for you. You're not for everybody. Okay, let's get some clarifying cards. We have Winds of Fortune. It says, allow the winds of fortune to guide your sails, maneuvering through life's opportunities and challenges with adaptability. So for some of you, this is about actual money coming in. For others of you, your version or your idea of fortune is being able to work full-time in a humanitarian capacity, and that is coming. So I'm also hearing like the winds of change are coming in for you to move you into a more humanitarian field that you want to be in. And then we have clear mind. It says sweep away any doubts that you have and know that you are right. So for some of you, this is telling me that you have been thinking about going into a humanitarian type of work for quite some time, but there is always that thing in the back of your head of like, I'm not going to be able to take care of my family. I don't know if this is a good idea, because how am I going to take care of my family? How am I going to feed these, my children, or feed my mom, or my brother, or my sister, or my dad, whatever the case may be. And you're being asked to clear your mind. And I'm literally hearing clear your mind, and the rest will follow. Clear your mind and let the ideas that are already there, these are not new ideas, let the ideas that are already there come in. Okay, let's get 2 more cards and keep shuffling. It's just it says just go with it, embrace spontaneity and trust the journey, remaining open to unexpected twists and turns along the way. Yes, so I'm telling you, just clear your mind and go with the flow. There is something that's coming in, and it may freak you out in the beginning, but you're like the number 9, and Spirit is coming in to say, just go with the flow. This is exactly where you're meant to be. And then we have one last move. It says, you have come far on your journey. Keep going, and you will soon see what you have accomplished. Yes. So for some of you, for some reason, this is making me think of the 10 of Pentacles. Things are really going to start to work out for you. You have been pushing yourself to do something different, to try something different, and your efforts have not gone unnoticed, right? Your spirit team, your spirit guides are coming through to say that we've been watching, we've been listening, and we've also been waiting. And I see 309. They've been waiting for you to start on this new journey, so now is the time. And then your bottom deck energy is stand strong. It says with defenses as your shield, find strength and perseverance, guarding what matters most. So yeah, for some of you, you are being asked to persevere. You're asked to keep going, to make sure that you are being the compassionate one, being more empathetic, but also hold yourself accountable. I'm hearing hold yourself accountable and stand strong on the things that you believe, because there are people who are going to test the truth that you are learning. They're going to, and some of you may be seeing your ancestors in your dreams. Some of you may have Native American ancestry. You may start to see them in your dreams. But you're being asked to stand strong on what you believe and the truth that is in your heart, okay? And I'm going to show you this because I saw this card earlier. It says flames of passion. It says, let the flames of your passion light your way, but be mindful of the fires that may ignite in your journey. So keep in mind, like the flames of your passion. Some of you, humanitarianism is something that you're very passionate about, but be careful. Don't let your passion burn others, okay? So I'm going to pull you some romance and love cards just to see what messages we get, okay? Okay. Whoop. Definitely made it come out. So we have settling. It says avoid settling for less than you deserve in love. Yes, for some of you, this is about your passion. You're avoiding, like, you're settling for something. You're settling for a job that doesn't necessarily serve your highest good, right? And you want to do more, right? And you're going to get the opportunity to do more, but remember not to settle. And then we have butterfly. It says you will meet a new love interest at a party or a night out. For some of you, this love interest is about you going into this humanitarian field. For some of you, you may meet a new love interest and you may have to have compassion and empathy for this person. There may be so much love that you want to give this person, but there is a level of almost immaturity to this person that I'm hearing, and you're going to have to be very, very careful. Don't settle, okay? Make sure you don't settle, but also have compassion and be willing to see beyond just the surface, okay? Bottom deck energy is gifts. It says love's greatest gift is the ability to truly understand one another. So for you, this feels like that's your compassion coming through. That's that humanitarian within you coming through, saying to remember to be compassionate, and that your compassion is a gift. There are a lot of people who don't deserve your gift, but there are a lot of people who do, okay? It is a gift for you to be as compassionate as you are, okay? Let's get some cards from the Tea Leaf Oracle deck. We have chair filled. It says someone new is entering your life. Yes. What did I just talk about? This person may be a bit immature, but you're going to have a little bit more compassion and empathy for this individual, because it may be something beautiful, a lesson meant for you to learn with this person coming into your life. But if you're so quick to discount them, then you may not get the lesson. And then we have bowl. It says plenty of material things. So for some of you, your material wealth is growing and it's gaining. And I feel like something about this is because you're going into the more humanitarian path. That is where your wealth lies, right? And this doesn't have to be material things, but because the plenty of material things card came out, I'm going to say that your material wealth is growing. And then we have boat. Look at this, money or property through an inheritance, winning, or windfall. So for some of you, you may come into some money very soon. You may be playing the lottery, and this money may come to you very, very, very soon. For some of you, you're going to be traveling. Something about this boat is making me think of going on a trip. You may get the opportunity to travel on a yacht. I'm specifically saying the Ritz-Carlton yacht. You may get a chance to travel on that as well. Then we have Weeping Willow, family sorrow. So something may happen in your family very soon that causes you to be very sad, or you may hear about a passing of someone in your family. But it is meant to happen at the time is meant to happen. So I just want to say I'm sorry for your loss if this is something that has happened to you recently. And then we have turkey. It says someone is behaving stupidly. I think to me this is talking about that immature energy that we talked about with that person coming in, right? Then we have cracked cup. It says dissatisfaction with life. So for some of you, you may be unhappy with the life that you have right now because you want to be in a more humanitarian phase, and that is going to be happening for you soon. And then we have seahorse. It says family matters. So a lot of things may be going on with your family very soon. You may have the type of family who's very messy. You may be cutting cords with them very soon. And then you have the month of May here. So I don't know if something happened in the month of May, or this may start happening to you next May, or something about you could have your birth month could be in May. Something significant could have happened to your family in May. So just keep that in mind, okay? So this is all of the messages that I have for you. Thank you so much for sticking it out with me all the way to the end. And I will see you next time in our next one. Bye.